Hello everyone, I am Ayush Thakali Surgeon and today I am going to talk about cybersecurity laws and security standards. In today's world, organizations collect and store huge amount of data and sensitive information. Because of this, processing that data has become very important. Cybersecurity laws are legal rules created by government to protect personal and sensitive information. On the other hand, cybersecurity standards are best practices framework that guide organizations on how to secure their system properly. Together, these laws and standards help prevent data breaches, protect user privacy, and build trust between organization and users. In this presentation, I'll briefly explain some major cybersecurity laws and standards including GDPR, CCPA, HIPAA, ISO 27001, SOC 2, ISO 27017, and PCI-DSS. Let me start with ISO 27001. ISO 27001 is an international information security standard used by organizations to manage and protect their information securely. It helps companies identify security risks such as hacking, data leaks, and unauthorized access, and then reduce those risks with proper security controls. This standard focuses on risk management, continuous improvement, and protecting the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information. Because of its standard approach, ISO 27001 is widely used in IT companies, banks, and cloud service providers. Next is SOC 2. SOC 2 is a security framework mainly used by service organizations, especially SaaS and cloud-based companies. It checks whether a company is handling customer data in a secure and responsible way. SOC 2 is based on 5 key principles: security, availability, confidentiality, privacy, and processing integrity. One important thing about SOC 2 is that security controls are independently audited, which helps build trust and confidence among customers. Now, let's talk about ISO 27017. ISO 27001 is a cloud-specific security standard. It is an extension of ISO 27002, but it focuses mainly on cloud environments. This standard clearly explains the shared responsibility model, which means both the cloud service provider and the customer have their own security responsibilities. ISO 27017 helps organizations secure cloud operations and better protection of data stored in the cloud. Next is PCI-DSS. PCI-DSS is a global security standard for organizations that handle credit card or debit card information. It requires companies to protect cardholder data using strong security measures such as encryption, access control, or regular security testing. Any organizations that process online payments like e-commerce, websites, banks, or payment gateways must follow PCI-DSS. The main goal of PCI-DSS is to reduce fraud and protect financial data. Now let's talk about HIPAA. HIPAA, which stands for Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, is a security law in United States that protects sensitive health information, also known as Protected Health Information or PHI. It applies to hospitals, clinics, insurance companies, and healthcare providers. HIPAA has 3 main rules: the privacy rule, the security rule, and the breach notification rule. These rules ensure that patient data is kept private, stored securely, and properly reported if a data breach occurs. Now it's time for CCPA, California Consumer Privacy Act. CCPA is a data privacy law in United States that protects the personal data of California residents. It gives consumers the right to know what data is collected about them, the right to request deletion, and the right to opt out of the sale of their personal information. CCPA applies to businesses that collect large amounts of consumer data and earn high revenue. Overall, CCPA improves transparency and gives users more control over their personal data. Now, I'll explain about GDPR, which is one of the most important data protection law in the world. GDPR is a strict data protection law created by European Union. Its main purpose is to protect the personal data and privacy of people living in Europe. Personal data includes things like names, emails, phone numbers, IP addresses, and location data. GDPR applies not only to the companies inside the Europe, but also to the organizations anywhere in the world if they are processing data of European citizens. That's why GDPR is considered global law in practice. Under GDPR, organizations must have a legal reason to collect data, such as user consents, legal obligations, or a contract. Users also have strong rights, including the right to access, correct, delete, and transfer their data. If data breach happens, the organization must report it to the authorities within 72 hours. The scope of GDPR is very broad. It applies to any organization that processes personal data of European citizens. This includes both regular personal data and sensitive data such as biometric and behavioral data. Even companies outside the Europe must follow GDPR if they handle European citizens' data. GDPR has several strict requirements. Organizations must collect lawfully, obtain proper consent, respect user rights, and protect data by design and by default. Some organizations are required to appoint a data protection officer or DPO. They must also maintain records of data processing activities and report data breaches within 72 hours. GDPR implementation process. To implement GDPR, organizations first identify what personal data they collect. Then they decide the legal basis for processing that data. After that, security and privacy controls are applied, documentation is maintained, and risk assessment is conducted. Organizations must also be able to respond to user requests and handle data breaches correctly. Benefits of GDPR and security standards. These cybersecurity laws and standards offer many benefits. They help organizations build customer trust, reduce legal risks and penalties, and improve their overall security posture. For example, an e-commerce company serving European customers' data must use consent banners, protect customer data properly, and respond to decision requests. Following these rules also improves an organization's global reputation. Finally, to conclude, cybersecurity laws like GDPR, CCPA, and HIPAA protect personal and sensitive data, while standards such as ISO 27001, ISO 27017, SOC 2, and PCI-DSS provide structured security practices. Together, they help prevent data breaches, ensure legal compliances, and create a safer digital environment for both organizations and individuals. Thank you.